things that we say about people, the things we do, and especially what we think can create negative karma in our everyday life. And it can happen oftentimes very quickly, almost instantly. We create this where we feel the effects right away. Sometimes it can be subtle, like walking into a door right after we wish somebody something that we shouldn't, or we think something that we shouldn't, and it'll feel like we're falling off our own cliff as we're wishing that on someone else. So we're going to take a look at those three major areas that create karma that impact us in a negative way in our human world. And at the end, we'll look at how we can instantly clear it up. When we're wishing that person that hurt us to feel pain or to roll into a sand pit and never come out, that creates karma for us. Yes, it does. And those are some of the common questions that I get asked is, what if we think it? What if we do it? Does it create karma? And what those negative consequences are. So the negative consequences are going to be different, and it's going to either be subtle or it's going to be quick and very, very fast. It's how we approach that particular area. So we're going to look at some of the most common questions when it comes to creating karma. These are things that I hear every day from multiple people across the world as to what these things are that we do that impact our everyday life. One of the things is, what if we think or say something negative? Does it create karma? If we wish someone negative consequences, something negative, will it come back on us? And are there spiritual consequences for those negative thoughts, words, and actions? How do we ignite them? So let's look at these three things, starting with number one. Number one, gossip. Belittling another person. You know, when we see those people standing at the water cooler and we walk in the room and they all turn around, there's 3 or 4 people standing there and they look at us, they giggle, they laugh, and everyone is looking at us as we walk over to that refrigerator. They are creating karma on themselves, most definitely, and it can affect you and your own energy vibrations. But remember, everything goes in a circle and it will come right back on them. If we participate in the gossip, it will come back on us, especially if we don't really believe in what we're saying and we're following those other people, laughing because we don't know how to politely excuse ourselves. And you don't have to, you just need to walk away. The energy vibrations that are around us, it moves freely and it just flows until there's something that stops it. And belittling or making fun of another person, talking bad about another person, will stop that energetic flow. It's always best to refuse to participate in verbal and energetic making fun of people, belittling, ganging up on others, because it will turn around and come back to you. So steer clear of gossip. Number 2, wishing ill will or harm to another person. You know, we get hurt by somebody and it hurts us really, really so deeply. And whatever they said or they did, it creates all of that pain that we have to sort out and we have to heal it. And usually that's on our own. So this can build up inside of us where we become angry. We become angry at the person. We start taking that anger out on the world, you know, on the person on a different person in the grocery store. That anger manifests and it just keeps building and growing and growing. It's not uncommon to want to take that anger, that ill will, and direct it at another person. If we do this, it moves our energy vibration and it can impact our everyday life in a way that we never thought possible. Like, we don't even think about it. We're just so in that moment. Those negative thoughts, feelings, and vibrations radiate from us to the other people, which locks that in the energy fields, both sides. It will hit us back like a ton of bricks because it's going to circle right back to us. And then it becomes stuck in our energy field. So everything in the universal energy flow is in a circle. When it comes back to us, it can affect our finances. It can affect any area of our life when we do that. So even if it's about love, it's a lack, it's a pain attached to that thought, that belief, and whatever we did or said to that person. The ill will can show up in our finances. A check that you were expecting to receive that didn't show up. The loan for your student loan, it didn't come through or it's been delayed. Whatever way it happens, it will continue to circle back around, and oftentimes will begin a repetitive cycle as we continue to take the anger, and then we get mad about that, then we get mad again, then we get mad again. That negative cycle will stop when we stop. Number 3, a lack of faith. If we are waiting to hear back on a job offer or a romantic situation, something that we really want, and we say certain words or think certain words, this can wreak havoc in our outcome of what we truly want, and most likely we actually deserve it, and it's probably in alignment to come to us. But what blocks that from manifesting is those thoughts and the words that we say. Things like, I wonder if I can, if it will really happen. Is this really going to happen? And the words are, I hope so, are the worst words to ever say. So if you think this is coming and you say, yeah, it's on its way, and well, I hope so, you just literally lost that faith. Faith is absolute believing. We know without a doubt. There is no doubt. We know it will be here. Believing that it will come is the biggest part of faith, and knowing it will show up at the right moment is what we must hold on to. So the doubt with words, if, it, wonder, all of those, that will put a stop in our energetic flow of movement around. There are many other negative aspects that we can think, say, or do that will create karma for us. The negative aspects of karma that come back to us when we do those things. Learning to release the negative and have full belief in what we're asking, and it will happen. But what if we did say, do, or think something that falls underneath those 3 categories? Can we reverse it? And the answer is yes, we can. And it's simple. It's easy. So we're going to take a look how to release that instantly. Before we do, please thumbs up this video, subscribe to our YouTube channel, and for those of you who are interested, you can subscribe at my website for my free newsletter as we go forward. And we clear out our karma. What we just created, if we just said, you know, I don't think I'm going to get the job, why would they look at me? I'm really mad at that person. I hope they fall into, you know, they trip and they hit themselves on the, you know, fall on their booty. These are things that will create negative karma. It's almost like throwing it in a mirror and it comes right back at us. So can we clear that out? And the answer is yes, we sure can. But this is something we have to do immediately. So as soon as you say it, think it, and do it, you want to do these 2 things immediately. If you delay, it can cause a repetitive cycle for you. So let's look at number 1. It is very simple. As soon as you say, oh, I wonder if I'm going to get the job. I don't know if they really like me. That negative, that doubt, that low vibrating energy. Okay, here's what you do. I give it back to the universe. I give it back to the universe and I ask you to do whatever you want to do with it. And you have to believe and really, like, you know, when you hold your arms up and your head up, it's like pushing it up into the air. So pick it up and push it up in the air. I give that back to the universe. Have faith is number 2. Have faith that you just released it and let it go. Do not allow it to harbor inside of you, fester, and turn into guilt or shame or even anger for some of us, and that anger intensifies. our trust in what we throw out to the universe is what allows the good, the positive, to come back in. So that belief system that we have, it clears the negative out where we're literally throwing it up. Those of you who sage your home, you know what I'm talking about, where we're releasing the negative ions in the everyday human life, the negative energies that are unseen that float around us equally, that stick inside of us into all different areas of the mind, the body, and the soul. So this is believing without a doubt. If we wait to do these two things, it will create a new negative cycle. And we have to play that whole cycle out. It's not like you did it a year ago and say, oh, I'm sorry, I give it back. And now it's miraculously gone. Although that can happen, absolutely, because miracles happen every day. But it's something you want to do almost immediately after you think, say, or do this. So there you have it. The three major ways that we create negative karma to come back into our life, and it wreaks havoc on every aspect, stopping money flow, stopping love flow, anything that we are trying to manifest, create into our own world. Oftentimes we do this and we don't even realize that we're thinking it, especially when we think that. It's so subtle, it's quick, and it takes immediate effect on us. So never wish anyone ill will. Stay away from the water cooler and do not participate in gossip. And whatever you do, have faith that these positive things are going to come in for you, and they will come through for you. A lack, a doubt, all of those will prevent it for us from being able to co-create with the universe. Thank you so much for watching. Please subscribe to the channel and thumbs up this video to help other people, because they will in effect hurt you by doing these three things as well. Subscribe to our free newsletter at our website and check out my new book, Microvibe. Much love.